pulse of Americana with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker. Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Good morning. Welcome to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm your big, beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor and Dallas. I am in Seaside, Florida. Sunny Seaside. Sunny, sunburnt Seaside. Producer Connor, Dallas. How are we this morning, boys?
We're doing good this morning, I believe. Connor, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Doing good.
That's all you got, Connor?
I just got here. We just started the show. Want me to start firing stuff right away?
Yeah. Bring what you got to the table.
Like headlines? You just want to go straight into it?
No, I'm messing with you, Connor. I'm messing with you. I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy. Just try to make sure you're awake. Try to make sure you're, look, here we are, day 5 of the Seaside, Florida 30A radio adventure. Finally got my setup like I like it on the last day. Got a hardwired Ethernet connection running into the old computer because if you don't know, we live stream the video feed so you can see Dallas in his ghetto blanket that he's got thrown across his lap and his Roll Tide shirt. And, of course, Connor doesn't have a camera in the producer box, but we will remedy that when I get back. I'm sitting here if you can't see me. Connor, I hope I'm on the screen. Of course, I don't have the video feed because we've got a different technical problem, but it's not on my end. And so I am here on the deck right over my right, your left shoulder is the Gulf of Mexico. That's how you say it if you're like, in the biz. And it's hot. It's real hot this morning. It's 6:06 and I'm sweating like crazy. Just got a text message, heat advisory in the Gulf of Mexico down here today. So that should mix well with the sunburn that I'm still toting around. And it should be a pretty mildly uncomfortable day.
Have you started to get, kind of over the beach at this point? I know, when I'm at the beach, day, 6, I'm just kind of tired of it. Just the sand, it's just, I don't know. You're kind of tired of having sand in places that you shouldn't have sand in.
I mean, look, the sand, let's be real, the sand's not a good thing. I mean, I don't like anything about sand. But, I don't know, man. Fresh shrimp every day. For a big boy, we kind of hang our hat on the seafood here. So, no, I mean, I don't know. My son really enjoys it.
What kind of shrimp? What kind of shrimp do you like? What's your favorite go-to?
Oh man, I'm just a straight steam guy.
Okay, I can respect that.
We keep us about 2 pounds of steamed shrimp in the fridge at all times. If you're familiar with 30A, our house, our complex here that we're staying in, is a few short yards up the road from Goat Feathers, which is where you go to get all your. That's a free shout out to Goat Feathers. Didn't charge them anything for that, by the way. That's where you go to get your steamed shrimps, and your crab dip, and your tuna dip, and all the dip. If you want to dip, you go to Goat Feathers. But no, I mean, look. So let me give you an update on Karen. The Karen, not the illegal to call 911 in San Francisco, Karen. I'm talking about the 30A Santa Rosa Beach, Karen. So yesterday, if you missed it, we were questioned about whether or not we belonged here. Our very worth was questioned by Karen. Karen's a doctor. Her name's not actually Karen. I'm concealing her identity for her safety and mine. And if you don't get what I'm saying, you're an idiot. And so we went down yesterday as soon as the show was over, and we staked out our little piece of real estate, by God. And I'm talking about we staked her out good. Karen didn't even show up to the beach yesterday. I didn't even get to enjoy it, by God. should show up. How you not show up at the beach when you're at the beach? I guess if you own a house here and you do what you want and you get to be here all the time, then maybe you don't have to go to the beach every day. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Because then you wouldn't have to have sunburn all the time like I do. But yeah,
She's probably
Go
just
ahead.
waiting for you to leave, and then like she sees that you staked out your area there. Staked out, yeah. I don't know.
yeah, we peed on our proverbial tree, and she doesn't want to get in the way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she knows you don't belong there. She's waiting for you to go back home.
Wait a minute, what? I don't belong here?
That's what I mean. In her mind, you don't.
Oh, yeah. Well, her mind, she may be a doctor, but I don't know. I've read Dr. Death before. I know how that could go. By the way, have I talked to you about that?
I don't think so.
I did. I think I did one day. The one day after I listened to the podcast, there's a doctor in Dallas that literally maimed and killed people. He was a spine surgeon. It was awful, dude. I mean, it's freaking awful.
Like his patients.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Google that up, Dallas. Google up Dr. Death and see how that feels.
Okay.
See how that hits you this morning. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more. Connor, producer Connor, you awake yet?
More or less.
That means, for those of you listening that don't know producer Connor, you can hear a very different tone in producer Connor's voice when he wants to talk and when he wants you to leave him alone and carry the show. I'm unfortunately not going to grant his request this morning, and I'm going to make him tell me what his plans are for this weekend.
This weekend, I don't think we have anything going on off the top of my head.
Okay. Connor's mailing it in. It's okay, Connor. I'm not mad at you. It's Friday. I don't want to, I get it. We'll get you involved about halfway through the show, probably. Here's the thing. Usually when we start at 5, by 6, Connor's rared up and ready to go. Now, on the day that producer Dallas didn't show up, Connor was rared up, ready to go in fact, if you'll remember correctly, all you heard was this over the microphone. Test 1 2, test 1 2, and Connor's like, "Hey, welcome to Hometown Heartbeat. You're here with Zach Walker, and he's trying to figure out how to do Dallas's job." So sometimes Connor can bring it hot first thing, but today, look, we're all kind of on a vacation except for Dallas. In that Connor's been sleeping in a little bit, I've been sleeping in a little bit, so I get it. 6:11 is still real early. So Connor, I grant you some. I grant you some leniency here in this morning, and buddy, I'm giving you a big air hug right now. If you can see me, if you're at thehometownheartbeat.com, that's a big air hug. Bring it in here. Let's circle up the wagons, if you will, and get ready to have a good show this morning. Dallas, what you got for the weekend?
Well, I'm working Saturday and Sunday, but besides that,
yeah, but when you work for like 2 hours at a time.
Saturday I do. Sunday I work for 7. I work for 7 on Sunday.
Oh my goodness, you almost work an entire actual day.
Yeah, and
Like
it's early
you almost work what most adults work in a single day. Almost, not quite, but almost.
Yeah, and then next week I'm gonna have to come in the afternoons too. So I'll be actually working like an adult next week. So
Sort of.
pretty much.
I mean, what, do you got to be there from 5 to 7, and then you go home and sleep half a day and then come back?
Yeah, I got to be there from 5 to 7, take a little nap, come back at like 2, and stay till like 6. So
I'll give that like teenager status.
well, I'm a teenager, so I'll take that.
So it fits. So it suits you well. I can deal with that. Oh man! So we got some good headlines going on. I've been told that I need to change my topic a little bit, and now that's not by anybody who actually listens to the station, but instead by my mother. And so, maybe she's tired of hearing me talk about politics. I'm not really sure. So in our shoot ready aim this morning, Connor, maybe let's steer towards as much as humanly possible, even though it's probably not very possible. Let's steer away from some politics and some racism and try to steer into something a little more. Maybe that's what we'll do on Fridays. Maybe our Friday segments will be like, I don't know, something happy about them. Like we need to, I don't know, there's just so much racism And, I mean, President Trump, he's just so mean, I mean, golly, he's mean. And I'm kidding for those of you that are listening. But I just don't really know where we land. Like, can we get to somewhere that is a little bit different? Or does Connor end up taking us right back into politics and race and stuff like that? I mean, it's almost like there's no other headlines out there.
There
like,
aren't.
truly. Huh?
There really aren't. Like, I'm looking through this headline thing. All right. Native American controversy, Trump controversy, police brutality, Trump, coronavirus, Biden v. Trump, tax returns from Trump, weather. Like, it's just, that's all that's in the news.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you, we really need to get the tax returns from a billionaire who basically stopped making money to be a public servant, but we really don't want to see the tax returns of all these quote-unquote public servants that are now millionaires that somehow made money by being a public servant. It's backwards. But anyways, you're listening to the Hometown Heartbeat on WVNN, website at thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. Check it out, podcast, live stream, YouTube, Facebox, Tweetergram. We'll be right back. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker checking in, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I made a swap on my old headphones here, boys, and I am not digging it. I swapped them, put them into the output of the computer, so I'm hearing the stream from the radio, and it's delayed by half a second, and I can actually hear myself delayed, and I forgot that doesn't work for calls, so I'm going to need Dallas to talk for a minute so I can do a little swap-a-roo.
Okay, well, welcome into Hometown Heartbeat. Connor, how you doing this morning? Having a good morning so far?
So far, so good.
Anything special happened on your way in this morning?
On my way in, no. It's always nice though because this early in the morning.
All right, I'm back. You're good.
Okay, all right. I'll
You're
stop
good. What did I miss?
Just me and Connor talking.
having banter.
Connor. So you're going to talk to Dallas
Yeah, I'll talk
and
to
be all
Dallas.
excited and
He
fired up.
He was actually really excited. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was starting to think your wood was wet. You know what I'm saying? Because if it don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Listen, we got some headlines out here that are terrifying. They should be terrifying. But again, it's Friday, so we're going to try to find. I don't care if we have to go to like kitten news, Connor. For Ready, Shoot, Aim this morning, we're going to try to be positive, upbeat, and uplifting, because in the year of 2020 with pandemics and killer wasp and all the other things that are out there, you have to, laugh. What do they say? Laugh to keep from crying. Is that what they say? Is that the saying as it goes, as it were? So the first one I want to dive into, though, let's talk about Seattle. We've already talked about Seattle at length with the old chop, the Chaz, the you name it, whatever you want to call it there, the insurrection is what I called it, but not that matters. And now Seattle has another. They have made news again by banning police officers with firearms from a very popular ice cream parlor. The sign on the window says, "Police officers, Molly Moon's is a gun-free zone. Please do not come inside if you are wearing a firearm." Molly's Moon has several locations that have been gun-free for the past 5 years, but the new signage has only recently been placed at its Capitol Hill shop, a block away from the Seattle Police Department's East Precinct building that also served as the CHOP's central landmark after police abandoned it in June. So, I find myself at a crossroads here. Molly's is an idiot, okay? This ice cream parlor, that's ridiculous. That's obnoxious. First of all. Second of all, there was a lawsuit in the past that actually got some traction where a patron of a store, it was a gun-free store, and the patron was robbed in the gun-free store and then sued the gun-free store for not allowing it its Second Amendment right to protect itself from said robbery. And I have to try to find that, but there was some success in that. Molly's, you're opening yourself up here by banning law enforcement. I would like to come to you. In fact, I might pull a Jesse Smollett. I might come to your store, have myself robbed, and then sue you because the cops can't come in there. They cannot come protect and serve. Now, look, I get it. It's Seattle. You guys are all weird. And that whole Northwest thing you got going on, there's just something up there that just doesn't feel right. Doesn't even feel American, It kind of feels like it's I don't know, Sweden or something like that. But are you serious with this? Hey, Seattle, are you serious with this? Hey, Molly's, there are places in Alabama even that have a sign that say gun free. I'm a concealed carry guy, right? I mean, I've always got multiple options, and I've never stopped and taken my pistol off before I walked in someone's door because, one, it's concealed. You're never going to know I have it if I do it well. And two, I have a Second Amendment right to carry it. Now, there are certain rules about where you can and can't, like, for instance, schools and sporting events and where alcohol is being consumed, and so I get that. But I struggle with this. I mean, Dallas sent me over this morning, and as I read it, I had to get up and get a second cup of coffee because I thought surely nobody was this. I don't know. You see movies about dumb people and characters being played by really intelligent people, and then you hear things like the Chop and the Chaz, and you're like, okay, so there really are some dumb people out there. But then you read something like this, and it's like, this may be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah,
truly.
That shop's pretty much putting a target on their back. Anybody that wants to rob a place is going to go to a place where they can't have guns, I feel like. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we heard about this place getting robbed not too far in the distant future.
This makes so much better. There's a quote here that I feel like we need to address. All right. A customer reportedly gave $500 to the shop to buy ice cream for any police officers who walked into the shop after they shut down the nearby protest site. Quote, "We had a few hundred officers come in packing heat, and it was making my employees feel uncomfortable," end quote. Molly Moon Neitzel, the company's founder and CEO, told the outlet. Like, huh? So police officers walking, that is the most dishonest thing I think maybe I've ever heard, outside of Kanye saying he wanted to run under the party of the birthday party. Like, outside of Kanye's attempt at president, this may be the most dishonest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Look, hey, guess what? You live in Seattle, first of all. The police literally abandoned their post. When you came charging into the Choppy Chaz, the police, with their commie mayor, decided to abandon their post. And, I mean, you have absolutely no reason to feel, quote-unquote, scared of cops packing, quote, heat. Because the cops out there didn't even do anything when you took over their police precinct. This is absurdity. This is, I don't know whether to laugh or to cry.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And we all know who the first people they're going to call is when they have a problem.
Ghostbusters?
No.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Whew. Yeah. Man. Like, I feel like we should have saved this one for the end. Because I don't know what else you do after having this little conversation here. I don't know what else you talk about.
Yeah, people want the police gone until they're gone, I feel like. And then once they have nobody protecting them, they'll realize.
Yeah, I can't wait for this call. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? 911. How may I assist you? Yes, this is Molly over here at Molly's Parlor where we don't like cops, and I'm being robbed right now, but police can't come in and no guns, so could you send a social worker over here for bang? That's how that's going to go. Listen, you're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. My name is Zach Walker. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host. You can check us out at thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. You can watch live, listen live, check out the podcast. You can get us anywhere podcasts are, anywhere you listen to podcasts nationally, and we will be right back. What is going on, everybody? My name is Zach Walker. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. Check it in from sunny Seaside, Florida, here in 30A, the legend of 30A, as Connor calls it. We have talked at length about this beautiful stretch of beach here. Yet again, this morning, I've garnered an audience here in the complex, and I'm you know what I'm really frustrated about? I'm frustrated that we didn't go with this setup on Monday and Tuesday, because it's so much better being out here on the porch where I can, inside I was waking up the whole freaking family. And that, I got a little sister that she values her sleep probably more than my life. And I was actually concerned for my ability to continue breathing had I continued to wake her up in the morning. And so I'm sitting out here on this beautiful porch looking at all these pastel colored houses, which is a little weird, $3-4 million house painted peak, a little weird to me, but hey, I guess if you've got $3 or $4 million to buy a house, you can paint it whatever freaking color you want. All right, so I got one article here that is in the vein of COVID, Connor. So for Ready, Shoot, Aim, if you want to have another COVID ready to shoot so I can aim, we will maybe go there after this. But 3 states account for 42% of all COVID-19 deaths in America. Now, mind you, I don't trust the death numbers, not for one iota, but 42% of 133,000 U.S. deaths have come out of New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. Why in heavens would that be? Can someone help me, Connor? Maybe you can help me with this. I don't know.
No,
Well, I mean, why would there's got to be a reason for that. I mean, obviously none of us know, so we're just throwing darts here, but that's something about that. So obviously this article suggests that and it says evidence suggests it could be policy related. Like, for instance, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, which we're on record here, he's an idiot. He prohibited nursing homes from screening residents for COVID-19, which is an obviously dumb, which he reversed it as soon as the media got a hold of it. He reversed that, but that does seem a little bit, because part of that was obviously if you're admitting people to a nursing home that are COVID-19 positive, you're introducing a potential killer into a at-risk group. So I mean, but could that be the reason for 40% of the deaths being from 3? That just blew my mind, dude. 42% of all COVID deaths came from 3 states. Does that catch anybody else off guard, or am I the only one amazed by this number?
it's definitely a big number. I gotta wonder, per capita, what those states breakdown looks like versus the rest of the nation.
Yeah, and it's on here, I think, but it's really, really small writing. But I don't know. It just it's what it's saying here for the most part is most of these deaths. Oh, here you go. I got it right here. Death per million. So let's go with the death per million breakdown. Massachusetts, 1,189 deaths per million. New York, 1,660 deaths per million. Obviously, much bigger population there, right? And then New Jersey, 1,729 deaths per million. Wow. So per capita, compared to, say, Arizona was 265 deaths per million. Florida, 179 deaths per million. Texas, 94 deaths per million. So I wonder if there's any correlation there to the population of those in nursing homes. You would think Florida would have been hit like a hammer, huh? Mm-hmm. I mean, isn't that where the retirement, isn't that where everybody goes to retire? Don't you you buy a camper and drive to Florida and retire?
Yeah, well, I guess people go there more in the winter, so I would think that they're back home by now.
I just, yeah, because it's hot as snot down here. Let me tell you.
Probably
about
up
that.
in New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts.
Connor, too soon. Not funny. I'm kidding. No, yeah, it's so hot out here right now. I think I might have ruined my microphone because like it's got condensation all over it, and it's one of those ribbon mics, and I'm not sure how it's going to deal with this this hot and cold deal. But we'll find out. I'm sure. But no, I just find that incredibly interesting. If you've got something to say about that, give us a call 1-866-494-WVNN, 1-866-494-WVNN, or 678 on radio. This is Hometown Heartbeat with Zach Walker. We're talking through some of these death rates here and some of the COVID stuff. And when we come back, we'll take your phone calls and we'll do our happy ending segment. See what I did there? And we will end the Friday on a bang. Go out on a high note. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. That would be thehometownheartbeat.com. thehometownheartbeat.com. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host. Check us out on Facebook. We're live streaming. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, burnt, bearded host, Zach Walker, live from Seaside, Florida this morning here on 30A. The people are up and moving. Everybody's getting ready to go to the beach. It's going to be a good for everybody. So Saturday to Saturday is like the length of most of these trips, right? So today should be most of everyone here's last day, except for Karen, because she lives here. And so we are, getting fired up to head down, get some more sun poisoning, probably end up with cancer. But by God, we got to watch some beautiful waves for a day, sweat, and get sand in places it ought not be. Do we got anything lined up for Ready, Fire, Aim?
I tried to find some happy stories.
Okay, let's go happy.
Without explicitly searching for happy. I was just going to go through the headlines until I found something not depressing.
Okay, hit me.
I found only a couple of things. There was apparently this headline, my goodness. Scientists discover meaning behind moon goop. Which, that just caught my attention. I thought it was interesting. Apparently, they, about a year ago, found a green gel-like substance on the surface of the moon. They spent the past year trying to figure out what it was. Turns out it was just a rock that had got impacted by a larger rock and it melted. So, not that interesting, but moon goop. I like the headline.
I tried to type the headline in so I could be on the same page with you, like literally and figuratively, but I didn't know how to spell goop. Apparently, that is
Goop.
Yeah, well, I threw a U. I threw a U in there.
Are you French?
Goop. Yeah, maybe goop. Moon goop. Maybe is that French? Is that a French accent? I don't even know.
That's
It's Friday.
Dracula.
What?
That's Dracula.
Moon goop.
Is it not, Connor?
Yeah, I can kind of see that a little. Yeah, you haven't done enough of it for me to like.
Well, it's because I'm only going to say moon goop. 2 words. That's all I'm ever going to say. I'm not going to say anything else but moon goop. Okay, well, if that's the happiest headline we can come up with this morning, we're all screwed, people. We are all screwed. If you want to give us a call this morning, 1-866-494-WVNN or 678 on radio. I haven't received an angry call or been called a name yet today, so it doesn't feel like a regular day.
That's happy right there.
We haven't heard from Rich in Huntsville in a long time. I wonder if Rich stopped listening. I probably would have. Garth Laverne texted me, and I don't understand what he said, but he said it's a Megadeth. And so yes, Garth, that's correct. Yeah. Garth, I love you. Garth Laverne Garth, will you call the show right now? 1-866-494-WVNN. Garth is a man. He's a man, a myth, a legend. He's a national treasure or a natural disaster. I couldn't figure out which one I was going to say, but national treasure, definitely. Yeah, look, here's the reality. Headlines exist to get you to click, right? And so the reason we have such a hard time finding positive headlines is positive headlines don't sell newspapers. And they don't get clicks on websites, and they don't it. We live in a very negative world. We live in a world where the headlines are meant to twist and contort and shape our way of thinking, and usually they want to shape our way of thinking around whatever agenda the newspaper would identify with, and in most cases they're slanted hard one way or the other, which is a terrible way to do news, because news is supposed to be just the news of the day. And that no longer exists because the news of the day is boring, especially in the year of pandemics and murder wasps and sub-Saharan clouds of dust that are going to blot out the sun, and, man-made climate change caused by cow farts. It's just it's a real negative world out here. Cow farts are dangerous. And so, I don't know, dude. It's really frustrating. to have a son in this world and to grow up, watch him grow up in such a negative world, a world where, I don't know, from my perspective, like there's so much hope in living a life following Christ that I have a hard time bogging down in the negative news, because there's so much to look forward to for those of us who trust in Christ Jesus. And if you don't know him, like, you need to. Look, you can email me, Zach@cottonrow.com. You can, I mean, I'd love to talk to you about it, because it changes your outlook on life. It changes your outlook on everything. And so I don't know. I find myself really, especially since I started the show, like, I'm so in tune with headlines in the news that I've gotten out of touch with pretty much anything good, it feels like. Does it feel like that to you? I mean, Connor, were you as in tune with the news and the news cycle and the headlines prior to starting the show?
I kind of went on and off, depending on what my schedule looked like. I used to, like, before I went to school every morning, I'd watch the first half hour of, like, one of the morning shows, like GMA or CBS This Morning or something like that, just to get the daily dose of news. And but it does kind of become depressing after a little while, especially when you start to feel like, especially when you're my age, you can't vote. You kind of feel powerless to do anything about it, in a sense. So it kind of became a little disheartening. But I like to be informed, so it's kind of on again, off again type deal for me. Now that I'm doing the show, there's no escaping it.
No, you got to be present in it. Dallas just found a headline that I am interested in talking about briefly, and this would be what I consider a happy headline. So Dallas read between the lines here, but Madison Avenue shop sues Governor Andrew Cuomo over looting. He estimates $100 million in damages. Co-defendants are the NYPD, Commissioner Dermot Shea, New York City itself, Bill de Blasio, the state of New York, and others. This is fantastic. The issue deals with May 29th, when looters, rioters, and thieves terrorized our city, vandals, and streets. And his lawyer, by the way, Sal Strazulo, which is with a name like Strazulo, you're either a mobster or you're a freaking bad attorney. I'm talking about bad to the bone attorney. And that's what Sal Strazulo is, I don't know, he may be a mobster, but he's definitely a bad to the bone attorney. And he said Cuomo should have worried about hospital reform instead of bail reform, getting a free pass. Some criminals were not able to be detained pending trial, and now we have looters. Who'd imagine we would have to board up our stores? We're not in Afghanistan. Places like Saks, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Rolex were being bombed out, like firebombed. Where are our tax dollars going? Rocks, bricks, glass smashed, merchandise stolen, people hurt, millions lost, businesses destroyed. Paying taxes that help pay the salary of the NYPD, we expect protection in return. Where was the city? Where was the state? This is going to be very, very interesting to see where this goes. Because if they can have any success with this, I would expect that you would see lawsuits like this in every city where there was any kind of looting or damage. And I would say that there's probably a shot that this thing gets some legs.
Yeah,
it makes sense to me.
I think we'll have to see how this one goes, and then it might spread depending on the outcome of this one.
Listen, this is our Friday morning edition of Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. Check us out on the internet at thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. Go there, click watch live, listen live, or go to the podcast button. You can find this show archived every single day, archived on anywhere you can get podcast. We are also now on Twitter at Your Bearded Host. We would love to interact with you. We love you. We will talk to you guys Monday.
Number one news, talk, and weather station. WVNN Athens.